a lot of those 4 or 5 of them boys in the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
And there's all of them dead but 2
Really?
or 3. But I talk to them all the time,
Okay.
especially Dan Barton. Harry Works in the cornbread. He died. Roy Wright, one of the best players ever played out here, he died. Richard Pickle, who won the state championship in baseball, he died. Wayne Anthony was a manager on the team. He died. Coach Smalley was the assistant coach. And
Bill Bowles is dead.
Preston Allen, Harry Workson. You know Woody Martin was on that team too?
Yeah.
He didn't go. He didn't make the trip to Nashville, but they say he's a good shooter.
He
But
was.
of course, Harry's dead.
Bill Bowles.
The only ones that's living is Preston Allen, Dan Barton, and the guy that does landscape.
Tommy Harvey.
Tommy Harvey. The only 3 people living on that basketball team. But you got a couple of managers. Charlie Kaiser was a manager. He's living.
Okay.
But I talked to some of them boys periodically. And, of course, like you said, the other year they come in runner-up.
Yeah, 2 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they must have been great. They were big boys back then. Roy Howard, and Roy, the guy that lived, Bill Bolton. I forgot him. He coached at Florida State. He died. He was on that team with Roy Wright. You're talking about 6'5", 6'6" boys back then.
Yeah, that was a big boy. Elvin Little was the coach.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever happened to him after?
Where'd he go, Joe, when he left here?
He left here, went to
Bristol area somewhere. Johnson City.
Went to Johnson City,
Yeah.
That's right.
and he coached up there.
Hey, wait, is he the one that coached Steve Spurrier?
Yeah, they
Sure did.
Really? At Johnson City?
Yeah, Science Hill.
Science Hill.
Because when he come back, when he got inducted to the Hall of Fame, he brought back Steve Spurrier. He was All-State in all 3 sports.
Yeah.
What about like Gilbert Luttrell?
Gilbert was on as a freshman sophomore, but he didn't play.
Okay.
Okay, so during your lifetime, which is the best team that you have seen at Lenoir City?
Best team I probably saw was would have been Matt Hurst, Travis Cozart.
Yeah.
I can remember. I guess it was they changed the names. You go district, region,
Sub-state.
sub-state. I think we played the sub-state game here at Lenoir City. I guess it was their senior season, and my wife had to come out here and bought tickets like at noon. The day of the game, they sold tickets, and I couldn't get here. I was at work, but I came straight from work, and we were sitting in the upper deck, and Lenoir City Gym was packed. You couldn't put another person.
Was that sometime in the middle 80s?
Yes.
That would have been.
Yes.
Look right here, Howard. I tell you right here. On this.
Well, I graduated from University of Tennessee in 1980, so it was after that. I was out of school working for TVA.
Okay.
But the gymnasium that year was absolutely packed. But Hurst was a tremendous shooter, and I can specifically remember Travis Cozart. He caught the ball outside the three-point line.
Actually, it was 1993 when Cozart was a senior, so it had been the late 80s.
He took one dribble outside the three-point line. He took one dribble and pulled the ball back. Did a Michael Jordan. He had the ball back behind his head, and I thought he was going to tear the rim off.
But Howard talking about that group. That group in middle school was 30-0 under Lynn Gray. They were 30-0 at Lenoir City Middle School. And two of them was a great player and was all-time leading scorer. Went to Loudon. One of them went to Loudon. His name was Jeremiah Johnson. Jermaine. And then Aker went to Farragut.
Yeah.
They didn't stay together. But
That's the best team I remember. I do remember back when Junior played and Jerry Wilkerson that was mentioned earlier. I can remember coming out here and we played. Was it Chattanooga Riverside or something? And actually, there was such a crowd in the foyer, in the entry of the gymnasium, and I don't know if somebody got in a fight, but they knocked the glass. The glass was busted out of the front of the gym. Just too many people. I'm sure.
Well, that night you had Chattanooga Riverside and Lenoir City. You had Chattanooga Howard and Kingston.
Okay.
The 14, 2 winners went to state. The gymnasium supposedly seated 5,000 people. Okay, Joe might have. They had a coach Riverside named Dorsey Sims, and they had cheerleaders, but they had towel girls. And most slick-headed boys, they'd wipe their heads off. You remember that?
And so that was in 72?
It was in 1969.
69, okay. So that was your,
My junior year, yeah. We were 27-6.
okay.
I would classify the ones that I remember as being the best teams, those teams in the 50s.
Well, yeah, you say
I would say 59 may have been the best team that we had.
Roy Wright and Bolton and all of them. That's 58, right?
Yeah, 59.
Richard Pickle. But Howard was talking about Cozart. He's probably the best athlete that ever played out here. That kid could have been playing on Sundays.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And he was the first game I watched him play as a freshman in high school. I went to Wartburg. A freshman, and I told my wife, I said, after the game, I said, you saw something special. He had 25 points and 25 rebounds as a freshman. I'll never forget that.
And he was just as good on the football field as he
Oh
was
my gosh.
on the basketball court.
Who's the
Travis
best player
Travis
you
still
probably?
comes to
Is Roy Wright probably
some of the games even today. Yeah.
one of the best basketball players?
No, I don't think, I don't,
He went to University of Tennessee.
I know it.
But that
But
boy
he
right
was-
over there is pretty darn good too, Tyler Hood.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's all-time
Yeah.
leading scorer. And that boy beside him in football, I can't even explain to you the numbers on it. Can you see, Darryl, how many yards he had rushing
Oh, yeah.
in high school?
Good. I carried 7,200.
Can you imagine? Hired 7,200 yards.
I had him in North. Great kid. The
Yeah.
whole family.
You know, speaking of good athletes, we had a soccer girl. Her name was Emily Holder.
Yeah.
She ended up, most of her soccer games are 3-2, 4-3, 5. She had 103 goals.
Yeah.
She was present one time in a Hall of Fame induction ceremony, and I said, we got a special Hall of Famer here. She had 100 goals. She said, excuse me, Junior, I had 103. Never forget that. Yeah, that was a special team in 58,
Yeah.
59.
What is or do you have a special memory on playing Loudon?
Oh,
Oh
gosh.
my goodness. Yeah, I played Millsaps. He's a year younger than me, but they also had Burkholtz.
He goes to the games now, still.
And I can remember one of those guys. We were playing at Loudon, and there was a scuffle for the ball, and I was on the floor, and I think it was Millsaps wound up on top of me. It was either him or Burkholtz won. Well, that didn't set well with me. So we used to tease every time Lenoir City and Loudon played. There was going to be a fight. Sometimes it was on the floor, sometimes it was in the stands.
Yeah.
But there was going to be a fight. And if the game was at Loudon, the fountain was going to be flowing orange because we'd drive by and throw, somebody would throw orange dye in it, or occasionally some soap suds and let it boil over. But this past year, there was actually some destruction here. Some kids from Loudon came in and did some damage to the football field and the camera and different things here. So that's always been a rivalry, and that was always the big game. Mary Jane Raymer that taught here for years, she would always bring Big Red chewing gum on the days when Lenoir City was playing Loudon, and she'd say, "Chew Big Red," and she'd just go around passing out the gum, and she still does that.
Wow.
Yeah.
In the memorial building down there, playing down there, is mostly the fans would be we've had 2 or 3 older guys here in town that that's the reason they go to the game, just try to stir up something.
Yeah.
And
We had a guy, Gifford Camel, was playing for Lenoir City in 1967 at the Memorial Building. Had a brother named Harold Camel, a rough guy. Beaver Williams guy from Loudon was guarding him. He fouled him. Harold come out on the court and knocked him out. His brother, Harold Campbell, knocked him out. Here comes Jess
Yeah.
Buttram trying to do something to her.
Police officer.
I was there. I mean, it was wrong. It was so wrong. Hit him. You remember that, Joe?
Yeah, I don't remember that exactly. I don't know why I don't.
But you remember it happened, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stop.